Oh my god, it's so sad. I chose this sad because I thought I was in love. When that comes on, my heart breaks and I love it. It was totally about the Speak Up Now movement when everyone was like, just a weird song for me. Me being a 20-year-old girl who has listened to Taylor Swift for about a decade now. Probably more than a decade. These are my rankings of the Tortured Poets Department and the anthology. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and welcome to a new video, different than any I've ever done. We are not talking about books. In this video, we are talking about Miss Taylor Swift, specifically the Tortured Poets Department. I wore my sweatshirt even though it is quite hot here in New Jersey, but I wore it because I'm committed. I just came up with this idea because I have been consuming so much content about the Tortured Poets Department on YouTube, and I have been non-stop listening to ttpd, and it came out like 2 months ago because that is all that I play. I love this album. It was an album that had to grow on me. I feel like I can finally look at it, rate it as a full album, all 31 songs, including the anthology, of course, determine my absolute favorites. Like, what is going into the Hall of Fame for Taylor Swift songs at this point? I feel like I know. What are my qualifications? This past year, I was in the top 3% of Taylor Swift listeners, and last year, I was in the top 1%. That's like excessive. I know this, I know. But I figured, why not put my obsession and my immense knowledge of these songs to use and make it into a video. Feel like there's just such an overlap between book girlies and Taylor Swift girlies. Like, there's such an overlap, but I am firmly in the middle of that overlap. I just love this album so much. I just needed to talk about it. That is what we're doing today. We are going to be going through the 5 categories I have and rating Taylor Swift songs from the Tortured Poets Department. That is such a mouthful. We are going to be using the tracking website, or not tracking, the rating website that I see literally everyone using. Alright, first I have to figure out how this tracking website works. Hold on. I keep saying tracking, I meant rating. Hey! This is the first time I've done a video like this that was not about books, but as I was editing, I realized that the reason why I love reading is the same reason why I love all these songs. Like, I talk about the lyrics a lot, and I talk about meaning behind it, and the metaphors and everything through these songs, and that's why I underline and annotate all of my books, because I just love those types of things. Like, I love just like dissecting a piece of work, I guess. Figuring out that tier tracker website, this tier tracker website, was a lot harder than I suspected it would be. These are our categories. We got 5. One is inject these songs into my veins. These are the songs that will go into the Hall of Fame playlist in my Spotify. They are going to be forever favorites, I already know, and I love the messages, I love the lyrics, I love everything about these songs. Also, I am not a music critic, I'm not an artist, I don't make music of any kind, so these opinions are just based on me being a 20-year-old girl who has listened to Taylor Swift for about a decade now. Probably more than a decade. Second, we have going on my faves playlist. These songs I love. Again, they're not like inject into my veins, but they are going on my faves playlist. I will listen to them over and over again. In the mid tier, we have, if it comes on, it's not a skip, but it's not a go-to either. Like, if my phone is across the room and it comes on Alexa, oops, now she's gonna talk to me. Never mind, then I'm not like getting up my phone to change it. But it's not like the one that I always go to. And the 4th tier is if it comes on and my phone is across the room, I will get up and skip it. These are just songs that I'm just like, yeah, sorry, no, can't do that one, try again. Sometimes they have a time and place. And then last one is Miss Swift What? What are these songs? Why are they on the album? I could think of only a few that are gonna go in this tier. But it's just like, what happened here? Because that is not Taylor Swift I know and love. That is what we're starting with. First, we have Fortnite. Honestly, going on my faves playlist, because this is one where I feel like it's a very easy listen. It's on my running playlist. I put it on when I just have a quick drive to the store or something like that. Like, it's a bop, but it's not one that I need to like listen to all the time. But I do turn it on every now and then when I want to listen to like a nice, quick, fun song. I love Post's little verse in this, and I love the I love you, it's ruining my life. I just love that. That is like one of my favorite lines in this album, and that is in Fortnite. So that's where she's going. Next is our title track, The Tortured Poets Department. If it comes on, it's not a skip, but it's not a go-to either. Some of the lines in here are just like, what? Like, I can't take them seriously. It's a good beat, 70s synth pop type thing. We said that Charlie Puth would be a bigger artist. Like, where did that come from? Did they ever do a collaboration ever? Like, where did that come from? I don't know. One of my favorite lines are in this song, and I will repeat this line. I chose this cyclone with you. And just the way that she sings that when she's like, I chose this cyclone with you. I'm like, yes, I love that line so much. And again, it's on my running playlist, but it's not like the one that I click on right away. But if it comes on, I'm like, okay, this is cool, this is chill, we can beat with it. And then moving on to My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. I'm gonna put it on. If it comes on, it's not a skip, but it's not a go-to either. I have a feeling that a lot of these songs are gonna go in this second and third tiers right here. I just feel like that's where a lot of the songs are gonna fall. I didn't like this song initially, but the Barbie metaphor, take me out of my box, put me back on the shelf, like take me out of my box when you want me to, and then you just put me away. But then at the end she says, I'd play again, he was my best friend. And that's just like, oh my god, it's so sad. That line is just so sad, where it's like, I know you're just like kind of using me at this point and only take me out when you want to hang out with me, but like, I'll do it all over again. And that is just, again, it's a good beat, and I love the Barbie metaphor throughout. And then we have Down Bad. Honestly, I think this was going on my faves playlist. This is the gym song that I start with, always. This is the one that I start my running playlist with, and the one that I start my gym playlist with, just because I love like the alien abduction metaphors. Like, these metaphors are like big for me. If we have a lyric metaphor, I'm all over it. That goes throughout the song, and I feel like Down Bad and My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys is very succinct, and that is their theme. It's a bop. I'm sorry. Some people are like, that's silly, but I'm just like, I am dancing to it when it comes on. I'm a big lyric person, so there's always one or two lyrics that I'm like, they stick out to me as my favorites, and this one is "Cause F it, I was in love," and she says it like softly, like "Cause F it, I was in love," and then it's like, now I'm down bad, crying at the gym. And that's just like, when that comes on, my heart breaks, and I love it. I love the imagery of this. It looks like on the tour it's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. I'm going in October, but it looks like on the tour, Down Bad, like with the alien spaceship, is gonna be really cool. It's like, yes, it was only a short amount of time, I realize this, but it meant everything to me. So, you know, how does that make it any less important than a super long relationship? I think that you could be in a super long relationship, and that could be a lot less important to you than a relationship that's like 2 months. Personally, that it's like you burn bright and then you burn out. Like, I feel like that could affect you mentally so much more than a super long relationship. Then we have So Long London. Inject these songs into my veins. Oh my god, I love this song. The fact that like in the beginning it's like Big Ben going back and forth, I love that little detail. Track 5, so heartbreaking. You have You're Losing Me. That is like the heartbeat throughout, like anxiety, and then you go to So Long London, and that's like, it's still like the my spine slipped from carrying us up the hill, wet through my clothes, weary bones caught the chill. And it's still like fast, but like anxiety. I feel like she references a lot of her songs that were about Joe. I feel like she references them in this song, and I love those like little callbacks. I am a sucker for sad songs, and I love it so much. Next is But Daddy, I Love Him. What should I do? What should I do? What should I do? This is between this one and this one. Like, it's totally between these two. I think we're gonna go on my face like this, because I feel like But Daddy, I Love Him is a commitment. That is a long song. It's a whole story, and I love Taylor Swift's storytelling, especially when she does like these fairy tale elements, like these ridiculous storybook type metaphors that she does through like love story, and then But Daddy, I Love Him. So silly. Also, she says my name in it in the very beginning, which I love. It was totally about the Speak Up Now movement, when everyone was like to Maddie Healy, like, he's a bad person, stay away from Taylor, we don't want you near her, Maddie. And this is basically her being like, but I love him, what are you doing to me? When that chorus hit, it just makes me want to run across the beach with my dress unbuttoned. Like, I love it so much. So it's going on my faves playlist. Next we have Fresh Out the Slammer. This one is growing on me. Right away when I first heard it, I kind of put it either here or here. But it's been growing on me these past 2 months. I really feel like this is a song that you have to this is an album that you have to really let marinate, because it was not what anyone expected, I feel like. So I feel like I had to let a lot of these songs marinate, but I like it now. If it comes on, it's not a skip, but it's not a go-to either. I'm not gonna put it on purpose, but now, like, I don't skip it. I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I like that, like, beat change. It's like nappity baby, I'm running to the house where you still wait up and that porch light gleams. It's like that old westerny too. She compared being with Joe to jail. That's crazy. Florida. Before, I would have put it here at the very bottom. Miss Swift, what? But again, I let it marinate. And now it went up a level, but it has its time and place. Not my go-to, but Florida has its time and place. Like when I'm running, that Florida is kind of like hurt my ears a lot when I first heard it. And it was just so like silly. And I was just like, Florence and the Machine, I like them, I don't love them. So I was just like, just a weird song for me. But if it turns on and it's not that time and place, then I will get up, get my phone and skip it. That's how I feel about Florida. I have no connections to Florida. I didn't grow up in Florida. It's just like, I feel like it's a metaphor for, I don't know, retirement or something. But I personally can't relate to it at all. So I'm just like, I'll work out to it, but I'm not gonna put it on for any other reason besides that, you know? Next, oh my god, my absolute favorite, Guilty as Sin, going straight up to inject these songs into my veins. I love Guilty as Sin. This was my favorite upon first listen, and it has remained my favorite. I think this is going to be a favorite song forever. Whenever it comes on, I can't skip it. I just can't. No matter what I'm doing, I will stop what I'm doing and just like start dancing. I love it so much. And just also the metaphors again in your mind, cheating on someone, but she was so trapped in Joe's relationship. Now she's thinking about this other guy and she's like, I'm still with Joe, but like Maddie. And it's like, does that count? Like, is that guilty emotionally or in your mind, cheating on someone? Which again, I love when that chorus comes on and it's like,
what if he's written mine on my afterthought, only in my mind?
oh my god, I love this song. Next we have Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. Honestly, this one also got moved up. It used to be like here, but it got moved up to going on my faves playlist. I, again, love the metaphors in this. It makes me so sad because she's like comparing it to like a circus animal basically. That one part where it's like, you wouldn't last an hour in the asylum where they raised me. That line goes so hard. It just hits so hard every time for me, and I'm just like, oh, that, get him. And again, we're not talking about like, yeah, she's a billionaire and she doesn't have anything to be like upset about. We're not gonna talk about that because she's still a person and like whatever. It's a long song again too, and it's kind of ridiculous at some points. You could feel the female rage in that song. I think it's a bop. I Can Fix Him. No, really, I can't. I'm gonna put that in the middle, the mid tier. If it comes on, it's not a skip, but it's not a go-to either. I love the old westerny. It reminds me of Cowboy Like Me a little bit, and I love that song. Again, it was about Maddie, and everyone hated him, and she's like, no, but I can fix him. No, really, I can. And at the end, she's like, ooh, maybe I can't. Upon first listen, I like mouth dropped open, like, oh, maybe I can. And I'm just like, ooh! When I'm opening up in the car, this album, this is not the first song I click, but if it comes on next or third, then I'm like, yeah, let's go. In the saloon we are. And then LOML. Inject these songs into my veins. I learned how to play this song on guitar. That is how much I love this song. Straight away, from the beginning. The way she changes Love of My Life to Lost of My Life at the very end. And again, I like the sad songs. I don't know what's wrong with me. I like the sad songs. It really tells you how trapped she felt in this relationship with Joe. And this is the song where that one verse, you talked me under the table, talking rings and talking cradles. I wish I could unrecall how we almost had it all. Dancing phantoms on the terrace. Are they secondhand embarrassed that I can't get out of bed because something counterfeit's dead? That is why Taylor Swift is a genius lyricist. Whatever. It's just like that imagery, that is just a beautiful way to say that you're seeing ghosts of your relationship everywhere. Also like two ghosts from Harry Styles. I know it's about Harry Styles, but that's the kind of vibe that it's also. All of these memories of this person. And it hurts so bad, like, are they embarrassed that all those memories turned out to be fake? Turned out to be counterfeit. We thought it was true love, but it wasn't. I can't say any more about that because I can go on and on and we have to get through the anthology. We're not even done with the first one of the album yet. Okay, I can do With a Broken Heart. If it comes on, it's not a skip, but it's not a go-to either. Again, this song I think was in like the 4th tier, but then it grew on me. I think it was trying to be Cruel Summer, but it didn't quite hit as Cruel Summer did. It's just fun and it's so sad, but it's fun and I love just dancing around, singing to it, and it's so like tongue-in-cheek. I always, just like in my personal life, in my random life when I'm not even listening to it, I'll like point to my boyfriend, point to my cats, and be like, lights, camera, smile. It is the smallest man who ever lived, straight up into my veins. Oh, the ending, I don't know if it's the bridge, I don't know if it's the verse, it's the ending part. The way that it builds, the way that it goes soft at the end, the smallest man who ever lived. Oh, it's so good. I love this song so much. Were you sent by someone who wanted me dead? That whole entire 1 minute, whatever. Oh, get him. Get Natty Healy. You didn't measure up in any measure of a man. That's crazy. And I love her for it. We have The Alchemy. Honestly, it's going on my faves playlist. Again, this one also got bumped up. It started off here, and then it got bumped up to here, and now it's going on my faves playlist, and I think that's where it will remain. I love the sound of it. It's just fun. We need to pick this up because my camera just died. This is what I mean. I just needed to do a video talking about this because I can go on about this, and I do in my personal life, but I figured why not bring it to YouTube. Anyway, The Alchemy. Love that song. And last, we have Clairvaux. I'm putting it here. I'm putting it in. If it comes on and my phone is across the room, I will get up and skip it, but it has its time and place. But I'm just not in the mood for it all the time. I like the idea of ending it off with, you know, You Look Like Taylor Swift and who's gonna be the next big thing. That whole traveling through time of like the next big thing, then the next big thing, and now she's the moment, but who's gonna come after her type thing. And I like it, but it's just like, I don't know. It's a little bit one note for me. So that is where our ttpd stands. Hey, I want to cut in here because I am currently editing our video and it is very long. Like, I simply just did not stop talking about this 31 song album, and the video, I don't want it to be like super excessively long because I don't want to talk your ear off for 45 minutes. We're gonna cut it into 2 parts. The first part is this one. It is a Tortured Poets Department, the original album, I guess you could say. And then the next part, which will be up in a few days, is gonna be the anthology. Because I just love this album and these songs so much. I want to include all of my thoughts about the songs, and I simply don't want to talk your ear off for that long. So that's gonna be it from me today for the first part, Tortured Poets Department. So yeah, so that's gonna be the end of our first part. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!